It's One Wellness Night Out time! What's up, guys? Happy One Wellness Night Out time. Happy birthday, Chris Kellner, Sifu, a.k.a. Happy birthday, Sifu. This one is absolutely for you. We'll talk about him at the end. What up, Musa? How you doing? Thanks for hopping on. So what I want to talk about today is why you should be getting adjusted. Clara, how you doing? Why should you be getting adjusted? My body's been doing just fine my entire life. I've gone through every day without any issues aside from, maybe a few headaches and, my mood is off sometimes and whatever, nothing serious. Your body will continue to work if you eat shit. Just won't work that well. You may have issues from time to time. Your body will function just fine if you live a mediocre lifestyle. Just fine, but not optimally. Not well. Not to the best of your ability. And you would never know what that ability is until you've experienced it. This principle goes for people who, again, you talk about the example of diet, right? They eat crap for all these years, and then they get on this diet rich in whole foods. They quit all the stupid drugs they're doing and drinking alcohol, and what happens? They feel phenomenal, and they can never go back. Well, my friends, as another example, we have the adjustment. So let's talk about what the adjustment does. Well, what we want to do as chiropractors with an adjustment is restore the proper natural alignment of your spine. And we know that our spine is basically a case for our central nervous system, right? And our skull, of course, for the brain. But for our spinal cord, our vertebra, right? Protect it. And those little holes that are made between each vertebra, with two vertebrae connecting, with the disc in between, of course, between the vertebral bodies, those little holes made on the sides let out spinal nerves off the cord. These control everything in your body. Your central nervous system, your brain and spinal cord controls everything in your body. So would it not be very important, seemingly, to keep that in optimal alignment? So that it's not impinging, if it's contorted in any way, your vertebra, right, your spine, well, then it would be impinging on the nerves, right? Interfering with the transmission of mental impulse to the rest of your body. You don't need an adjustment. You don't need anything except eventually food, air, water, and sleep. Nobody ever needs anything. So again, you will live if you don't get adjusted. But do you want your body to function optimally? Whether it be in digestion, right? You talk about thoracic nerve supplying digestive organs, or you talk about, sacral nerves and nerves in the lumbar supplying your bladder, or sex organs, right? You have dysfunction because something is misaligned. You can't think that well. You might get headaches. You might get muscle twitching with a lack of impulse to a certain muscle. Obviously, there are other causes too. But you might get all sorts of problems, you guys. You might get that numbness, burning, tingling, going down your leg, going down your arm. It's something that should definitely be taken seriously. Everybody should have a spinal screening at least once a year. Just like you have an annual physical. Before I went to chiropractic school, I had no idea that this was going on in my body. And anytime I had ever seen somebody's neck get cracked, right? In Hollywood, I say that because it's an adjustment. You're hearing a cavitation. Okay? It's the viscous surfaces of the joint facets coming apart and the releasing of gas bubbles and nitrogen bubbles, right? When you see that cracking in Hollywood on TV, it's Bruce Lee ripping a guy's head off, basically. Nobody thinks their body should move like that. Well, let me tell you something. It shouldn't. It shouldn't, unless you're trying to kill someone. But we know exactly what not to do as chiropractors to hurt someone. Exactly how to not hurt someone. We would never put your head in extension and rotation at the same time, for example. It's dangerous. But taking Tylenol is 5.5 times more dangerous than a cervical adjustment. Again, taking Tylenol is 5.5 times as dangerous as a cervical adjustment, which is your neck. So, if you've taken that, right, you can see, wow, a neck adjustment isn't nearly as dangerous as I had thought. In fact, it's really about not dangerous at all. And I wouldn't do it if it was dangerous, right? We would never do that. We are doctors, right? And it's not that we need any of this credit. It's just to know that, we know what we're doing, right? Number one. Number two, it's not us who get the credit, it's your body. We're putting your body in a position where it can function optimally in its most natural position. Now, you might say, well, what's natural is my spine moving this way one way and then moving this way another way to compensate for that. That naturally happened because of the original misalignment, and dysfunction ensued. So if you have some, issues, whether it be you get headaches, you might have tight suboccipital muscles. It's not just the spine we deal with, right? It's also, active release therapy, things like that, muscle work. What's up, all you guys? We'll say hi to you in a second. It's also muscle work, improving blood flow to areas. So when you get adjusted, we're relieving the impingement on nerves, okay? And we're also improving blood flow to the vertebral joint. We're improving blood flow to the intervertebral discs. So what happens if something doesn't get, what is carried in blood? Right? Nutrients, oxygen, etc., right? What happens if you don't give a plant nutrients, or, it can create oxygen, right? But if you don't give a plant things that it needs, right? It will die. What happens if you don't give an animal all these things, nutrition and blood and oxygen and nutrients? Things die. If a tissue is not getting blood, oxygen and nutrients, look at a heart attack, it dies. Right? In the case of myocardial infarction, for example. So it's super important to maintain optimal blood flow to your intervertebral discs to prevent degeneration of the discs over time. You don't wait until you have a problem. Insurance will only cover when you have an issue. Insurance wants us to patch you up and ship you on your way. But if you want corrective care, it is worth it. It might cost something for a few months, but it will change your life, and you will be so happy you did it. There is nothing to sell. There is nothing to believe in. Chiropractic is not a religion. It is scientifically proven for efficacy in reducing low back pain, for example. Hey, Margie, what's up, baby? There's nothing to believe in. So either you want your body to function optimally, or you don't. All right? Now, all the same, if you're in some accident, right? And I deal with no-fault accident patients all the time, every day now. Some of these people, they could barely walk into the office. We're not going to put you on a table and knock my phone over doing that. But we're not going to wail on somebody that's in a lot of pain like that. It's all about the patient. It's all about putting your body in a position where it can optimally function and do the most it can for itself, while giving you advice on nutrition and supplements and homeopathic remedies at the same time. And if you require something more than that, we'll send you to a neurosurgeon. We'll send you to an internist. We'll send you to the ER if you're about to have a stroke. We're not looking to cure everything in the world. But 99% of the time, we can help you. We can help your body help itself. So, these are the reasons you should be getting adjusted. You owe it to yourself. I don't care if you come see me. It would be great. I would love to see you. Come hang out. We'll have fun, while putting your body in optimal position to perform and be healthy. But go to a chiro, wherever you are, and try it. See how you feel. And don't just try it one time. And maybe you go once and they're not a good chiropractor. This guy had Birkenstocks and a man bun, and he didn't even do a full exam on me. I'm not going to adjust you the first time you come to my office. You know why? I don't know what's going on with you yet. Don't just grip it and rip it, as they say, is a joke. Of course, a joke. We do a full exam the first day. Then we get your x-rays we send out for. We develop a report. We report the findings to you, and we talk about if you want to go through care or not. There's no sleazy scheme, looking to just make money. That's the beautiful thing about being a chiropractor. You don't have to lie about anything. You can just do your job and make an honest living, and you'll do just fine. And that's one of the reasons I love it so much. And it goes hand in hand with my lifestyle. Just living naturally and, to my optimal potential, as I believe. I could always get better, but I was adjusted today and I feel pretty good. I needed it. Feel great. And need, right? Need is a stupid word, I guess. No, again, nobody ever needs anything. But what do you want for yourself? What do you want for the people you love and care about? If it's the best health that they could have, give them every asset to health that they could possibly acquire. And one of them is getting regular adjustments. Now, different issues will take longer to resolve than others. If somebody is a wellness patient, you come in and you go, "Come on, Shane, I just want to get cracked. I'm coming in for my..." I could see the average person like that once a month, and the adjustment will hold. Somebody had just gotten in an accident. We need to pay close attention to their case. We'll pay close attention to every case, but we're intimately involved in this recovery process, and we'll be seeing them 3 times a week, for months. But they recover. They get results. People that have herniated discs, they go right to the neurosurgeon. Why? You see us first. I don't need to be your last stop. I don't care. Again, there's no ego associated with this. We even credit your own body to everything. We just put it in a position that it can work well, right? But somebody, you hear stories all the time. Girl, 19 years old, they talking about it when I was at Palmer, went through 4 spinal surgeries. You know how dangerous spinal surgery is? It's risky. These people aren't perfect. You can't blame them. You go a nanometer in the wrong direction, you can paralyze somebody. But people are so quick to put themselves in a position where they're doing that, which there's nothing wrong with neurosurgeons. They're great, and they do great things, and a lot of the time they're required in a case. And God bless them for being there when we need them, right? But most of the time, you talk about a herniated disc, for example, conservative treatment, flexion distraction. That's when your legs move up and down on the table, opening space between the vertebrae so the disc can creep back in. Stuff like that, and then eventually low back adjustments, corrective alignment care, right? Have the same prognosis a year out as people that get surgery for a bulging disc, herniated disc. Now, a sequestered disc is a different story. If it's leaking down into the cord, we can't help you with that. And we know that. We'll send you to a neurosurgeon. But come see us first. Blows my mind that people don't think like that. It's nuts. You have people in the same place, the vast majority of the time, proven in studies, A year down the road, herniated disc, equal level herniation. Surgery, no surgery, saw a chiropractor. They're in the same place. And some of the ones with surgery, they could even be in a worse place. They could be in a better place. Maybe you went to the chiropractor and it didn't fully resolve your issue. They didn't do a good enough exam. They didn't read your films properly. And that's why you make sure they're well educated. I went to Palmer. That's the best chiropractic school. And they literally started chiropractic. It's not about me, but, at Block Sports Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, we're all well equipped to give you the best care that you can possibly get from a chiropractor. So if it's not us, find one of those near you. You deserve it. That's what we got for you guys today. I hope you got something out of it, and take this advice home with you, and keep it in your mind and think about functioning optimally. Just the same as you're going to think tomorrow morning, hopefully, about eating only foods you find in nature, so that your body may function to its optimal potential, instead of going getting processed garbage and just getting through the day, right? And not drinking enough water and things like that. So thank you guys so much. Let's say what's up. MB Dillard, Melanie, Margie Bear, everybody said hi to you. I love you. Jazzy, Haley, and Clara, we said what's up. And Moose again. You guys have a fantastic rest of your night. Thank you so much. Before we gotta go, though, I have to say happy birthday. I was getting carried away. I'm so passionate about this. Happy birthday, Chris Calder. Happy birthday, Sifu. I hope you had an awesome day. I really do. Let's see. What day of the week? It's Monday. So you guys were training tonight for 2.5 hours. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm sure you did, because you love what you do, just like I love what I do. And, I respect the dedication you've put into Kung Fu for so many years. I went for probably like 6 months, maybe 6 to 9 months I was there. I don't know, something like that. The end of my time at Palmer, I finally found out about you, and I'm glad I was able to go all the time. But I learned so much. I couldn't say I'm, a Kung Fu guy. I only went for months, But we did do 8 hours a week, and, I learned a lot more than the form of Kung Fu. I learned all the principles, and that's the big thing. Like, using someone's energy against them, being humble. You think you're humble, and then you really learn what humble is, and still none of us really know, right? You think you do, and you really don't, because we're humbled all the time, right? With new experiences. But I really enjoyed that. I saw that Kung Fu class as an escape for me. And an escape from, I guess, the real world. Not that I feel like I need to escape it, but it's nice to have a sanctuary like the gym where you can just not think and just react and just enjoy the time presently. And I try to do that as much as I can throughout the day, but it's not as easy to do that as when I was in Kung Fu. And I'm very thankful for the time I had to share with you. I always look up to you for life. And, respect you so much. And this one is absolutely for you. I hope you had a great day. And, I don't know what kind of fun stuff you guys did in training tonight. I'll go look at a video in the group and, maybe see you throwing the hands real quick. Who knows? But have a great, great night, Sifu. And you guys have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Happy wellness. Thank you so much.